So opening attempt now for Cyril Thatchett. As we expected, he did move up a little bit, maybe more than we even thought. He's up at 151 kilos now for this opening attempt. Just 8 kilos shy of his personal best.
Very comfortable.
Very solid. Yeah, he really has amazing mobility in his hips. Really gets down there in the snatch. Similar in the clean as well. That's great. Gone are the memories of that 140 miss from the training hall a few days ago, I'm sure. We'll take a quick look at the British weightlifting records just to see what sort of numbers he would need. Of course, he owns all of the 96s and 102 records. 159 in the snatch in this category. He did snatch 161, but that was, of course, as a 102. That was at the British International Open back in 2019. And then in this category, 159, 197. Those are his best lifts. He hit all of those British records in Colombia, the World Championships, just a few months ago. Where, incidentally, he told us he hurt his left elbow during that competition. So Anatoly Horidko from Ukraine will now come out for his opening attempt. This is only his second international. His last was way back in 2019.
Just shorted that one. His best is 162, so he's not really in extremely heavy territory yet, but it's getting close.
Yeah. Yeah, he did that 142 as an 81 kilo lifter. It's been 3.5 years since that day. And he looked at his hand a few times as he walked off. I wonder if he tore a callus or if that was just the classic look at the hand that weightlifters often give after they make a miss. The heaviest openers so far are at 165 kilos from the two Armenians. Then Irakli Gobejishvili is at 160, as is Redol Manouchi, as is Cristiano Fico. But the strongest clean and jerk of the bunch, Romain Madushin, has 157 kilos written in for his opening attempt. So Anatoly just taking his time. The clock only just started because changes were made on the platform. I think they maybe cleaned the bar or something. Plenty of time, 1.5 minutes.
He's pacing quite a bit. He doesn't seem to be tired.
Is it just me or does he have massive forearms?
Yeah, he's very muscular.
Yeah. Speaking of massive forearms or big grip strength, we're still yet to get Dave Sawyer and the grip strength machine in the same room.
Right.
He's heard of it now, he knows that it's circulating, and he's ready to give it a go whenever it comes near. But they haven't yet crossed paths, so we need to find out what Dave can do.
I'd almost be worried to hand it to him and have another injury on
Right,
hand.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Wow.
Much better pull.
A little hop back, a little step forward, but he catches that bus so far behind his head.
He gets his knees back really far in that first pull. 156 now. Obviously not the weight we're going to take. I think we're going to start some of this secondary pack here at 157.
Yeah.
We'll see if Kurnaz actually takes that 157. Most likely the lifter to come out. Up, Thatchett.
Yeah.
Taking 56.
Yeah, Cyril's out next. Just a 5 kilo jump for him from first to second attempt. 3 kilos below his personal best.
Yeah, if he's successful with this, he positions himself well for taking a British record.
Interestingly, this year in training, he hasn't snatched anything over 145 kilos. So this will be 11 kilos more than he's been exposed to. Extremely heavy attempt.
Oh, wow. Great job.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
He's in
shape for a British record of 160. He only needs another 4 kilos to do it. Wow, he was really telling us that he was not in good shape. He's told us basically don't expect anything. In fact, I'm looking at his answer right now to one of our questions. He said, like I already said, I'm not in great shape.
Well, his definition of great shape is different than ours, I think.
Yeah, that's very true.
Wow. Yeah, I think we're going to see
great lift.
Possibly an attempt at a British record. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, he told us that the preparation for this was rushed. He said it was all over the place. They had to readjust all the sessions as they went along to accommodate all of the various injuries that he had. And like I said, 145 kilos was the most that he snatched. And we might see him take an attempt at 160.
You know, it just goes to show that the reason we have competitions, right? We've got, could be anything, the training, everything could be good or bad, but on the day of, if you're in shape, you're in shape.
Yeah.
We've seen many times an athlete that has much bigger numbers in training and does not even come close on the platform.
Yeah.
Here he is.
The man himself, Stu Martin. Coming in to make a change. I think the French coach is peeking over his shoulder just to confirm what was happening.
He's putting that 160 on.
That means that Romain Duchesne from France will come out now at 160 kilos. He has a monstrous clean and jerk on him. Snatch a little bit less consistent, a little bit less strength there. .165 kilos is his best.
Yeah, he left that up front. He just tried to rush to get under, didn't finish the pull.
Yeah, he took the bronze medal at the European Championships last year, placed 4th at the World Championships, gold in the clean and jerk as mentioned. But he's been competing for a long time. We saw him in 2014 competing at the European Junior Championships. Placed 9th. The year later he placed 3rd. Still yet to take a silver or above internationally, so no doubt that's maybe on his radar today with that big clean and jerk of his.
I think we're seeing him move as well, Duchesne.
Yeah, by a bit of time.
Yeah.
Up to 161, so Irakli Kobejishvili from Georgia should be the next athlete out. That may well change as well. He's not made any changes to that opening attempt yet. Although, based on the cameraman over by the door, yeah, it looks like he's coming out.
There's Irakli.
I've always been a fan of his technique, his speed.
You mentioned earlier as well this competition. A lot of the Georgians, we see them produce a lot of great lifters, but not necessarily always getting into those gold medal positions in the
total. A lot of good lifters, but Only one extremely great.
Beautiful lift, though.
Yeah.
A lot of speed, just a little bit forward to take a step to get under it. But
yeah, as he stood up, his shoulders internally rotated, and it almost looked as though he was getting a bit of a bend at the elbow, but it was just the change in angle that we were viewing the arm.
Very good.
Yeah, very nice. Keeps the bar very close. Almost got a haircut there.
Well, 160 stays on here. I think we're going to see the next two athletes out. Duchesne first.
Yeah. He'll reattempt this, having just missed it. Another extremely powerful athlete. Not necessarily built for the snatch. Got very short arms. It looked to be better in the pull. He
just
cut the bar right over midfoot. Yeah.
That first one was short. Second one, he overcompensated. He still has one left, though.
In terms of the media that we have here, we have a few different camps. There's a British camp, which is us plus you, I suppose. Then we have German media, we have French media, Ukrainian media. There's always a little bit more enjoyment when we all have some of our athletes competing. And in this session, you know, we have GB, we have France, we have Ukraine. Just makes things a little bit more exciting. Anatoly will take this third attempt, 5 kilo jump. Second attempt much nicer than his opening miss.
Right into it. It looked rushed. It didn't look like he really set himself up well for the pull there. Spent a bunch of time fiddling with his hands and then dropped the hips down. This 160 for Cyril Thatchett will be a new British record.
Are you allowed to have a T-shirt of more than one color under your singlet?
I don't believe so.
Because he did.
You know who else had that was the Bulgarian in the, I'm trying to remember which one it was, but earlier we saw he had a pattern. Blue shirt, white.
White down the sides.
Yeah, white down the sides, yeah.
Marinov maybe.
Marinov, yeah, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we just saw Anatoly there with a big logo on the chest of his T-shirt. Okay, Cyril Thatchett now, third attempt. This is for a British record, a personal best in the category for him. A kilo shy of his best in the heavier 102 category.
Yep.
Just not there.
Still a great effort.
Yeah.
For him to have not really trained that much, never really getting over 140 in training, and then taking a shot at a British record is impressive.
Yeah, he's definitely an athlete who relies on speed and his incredible depth more so than bar height. And that one, though, just didn't peak quite high enough. Didn't leave him with the room needed to move under that bar. So Romain now in a tricky situation. 2 missed lifts at 160 kilos. He needs this if his dreams of a European silver or gold, something he's never yet achieved, are to come into fruition. He's so strong in a clean and jerk, he might be able to come back from this deficit if he's able to make it.
He's got quite a bit of support from the entire audience here.
Biggest audience we've had so far.
And it's stretching all the way to the ceiling almost.
Yeah.
First was in front. Second behind. Just barely rolls behind him. He was so close. It was a better attempt than his second, but not there.
Yeah, and so Romain Duchesne is done in the snatch. Unfortunately, he can still, of course, clean and jerk.
I would have to imagine he's going to, being that he's definitely
he could get a gold.
capable of medaling for sure.
Certainly got a gold, but that's just going to add another element to the story of this later on. Having an athlete looking for a gold in the clean and jerk, the other's not really taking into account what he's doing, because of course he won't be putting forward a total.
You know, we haven't had very many bomb outs in the entire competition. I think maybe under 6 or 7 in these A sessions, maybe even not that many.
Here comes Redon Manouchi, the second of the two French athletes. He actually retired from weightlifting back in early 2019 to compete and train in CrossFit for 3 years, where I think he did pretty well. He only just started properly training for weightlifting again. And then between January and March, tore his thigh, so he hasn't trained a lot. But pretty big opener nonetheless. Built to snatch. Oh.
Yeah. He's got that very distinct slow pull from the floor. I don't think that's on purpose. He's just not able to move the bar super fast off the ground.
So he's snatched right around the sort of 185, 187 range before in training, but then will miss 200 kilos in the clean and jerk even when he's in that sort of shape. He's just really very weak in the squat, very slow in the pull. Max, what is it about those slightly longer legs, but then he has, you know, not necessarily the longest arms either, that maybe make him so good in the snatch?
Yeah, I mean, the position he can get into, he's over the bar so much better. He can use his back well. Having long legs allows him to accelerate the bar for a little bit longer, so there's a higher velocity at the end of the pull. All those things are just conducive to moving under the bar quickly. A short torso as well, so every degree the knee joint bends, his hips end up moving down a bit further. It doesn't need to be as explosive or as fast as an athlete with shorter limbs. So, but it punishes him on the other end, obviously, making squatting and recovering from the clean that much harder.
So there we have Gary the Goat, I believe we've... Is that what we said?
I thought we said Gore the Goat.
Gore the Yerevan Goat,
yep.
Yes. Out and about with the fans. And this place, we estimate seats around sort of 5,000 people. And it's 2/3, 3/4 full?
Yeah, I'd say 3/4 at least.
3/4 full, yeah. Pretty packed.
Now there's 2 Armenians here, so I can see that's bringing the crowd.
Yeah, both still with big openers at 165.
Watch this pull off the floor. You know, he pulls it well, but at the top of the lift there, right when he finishes, it's a little bit slow, a little bit hesitant on the turnover. He's not getting out of that bar really quickly.
He's got those little socks on.
So close.
Do you have Lidl in the USA, Max?
We don't.
It's a staple of supermarkets in Europe. Yeah,
I've seen it all
it's
over.
on the cheaper end, but my word, do they have good deals?
Isn't there another brand as well? It's
Aldi.
Aldi, yeah, Aldi. Yeah.
If we talk about fierce competition, you've seen nothing until you've seen those two on the same high street.
They might be on the East Coast in the United States.
Yeah, Max, if you don't have them, you don't have them. Okay, you don't need to make things up just because you want to fit in. You have Walmart, we don't. Yeah. You don't want it. We'll keep our Aldi and Lidl. Thank you very much. Fresh food. Good quality food. So that's 5 missed lifts for France, with 1 remaining. Interestingly, Redon Manouchi's very, of course, he's aware of his, good snatch and his bad clean and jerk traditionally, but almost to the extent where he said to us, he knows he's going to be able to have fun in the snatch. He might be able to push some of the other athletes, but he said in the clean and jerk, I'm just way too weak. He said they're too strong. I'm not going to be able to keep up with them. Yeah. But even in the snatch today, unfortunately, it might be that those 3 years off doing CrossFit, what do you know? That's not particularly helped him.
His pull from the floor is fine. Obviously at the top, he's not really finishing well and moving under quickly. It's as if the bar just floats and he hesitates a moment at the end. He's got to be aggressive on this. Yeah, same thing. Looked to be just a bit too heavy for him to actually get under quickly enough.
So that's two French athletes now who have, in quick succession, one after the other, just bombed out. We've had 8 attempts at 160 kilos and 161 kilos. Sorry, we've had 9 attempts. 8 have been missed. 1 has been made. That was Irakli Gobejishvili. This is a poor start to the men's 96s. 9 missed lifts, 4 made. It'll be interesting to see if those two will continue on. You'd imagine that for Romain and Duchenne, he will continue on because he knows he can medal in the clean and jerk. He could win. But Redon Minucci, not known for his clean and jerk strength, he's the weakest in the field. We'll have to wait and see whether he wants to continue on. Some boos, some hissing now for Hakan Kurnaz, which is not what we like to hear. The Turkish men have received a little bit of hate from the crowd so far in this competition. 164.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, but they've always answered very well in the face of this adversity.
An alarming amount of silence when the Turkish men are successful. Basically just a golf clap from a few of the stragglers in the crowd. That
I think on day one I clapped, did I not? And everybody turned and looked at me, so.
But then conversely.
Yeah, conversely, here comes Ara Aganian with 165 kilos. 3 athletes with 165 written in, and he is one of them, as is his teammate. Ara Aganian has snatched 170 kilos before. That's his international best. He did that last year at the European Championships, where of course he took the silver medal. That's where he hit all of his best lifts, 170, 205. He's a silver medalist at the European Junior Championships as well. That was back in 2019. This is only his 5th international, but already receiving more support in person than most weightlifters will ever experience. It's very impressive bottom position in the snatch. Great depth.
Yeah, super strong opener.
And roars, cheering, stamping her feet, flying the flags. Very proud nation. They're very pleased with that opening attempt of the first of their 2 athletes. And Max, something we've noticed is that anybody who dares try to outlift the Armenians also gets silenced and often boos when they miss. Yep. And so it looks like Cristiano Fico from Italy, who's coming out now, is probably going to be subject to just that. Well, Fico, clearly the smallest athlete here, weighs about 89.3 right now. Bumped up from the 89s to avoid competition with his teammate, Antonina Pizzolato.
He's definitely in a better position in this class, actually. 89s were dominated by Karapetyan and the snatch and Carlos Nassar across the board. Fico makes a great snatch there on his first.
He has wonderful technique. He actually worked up to that in the training hall earlier this week. Missed it on his first attempt. Made it there just then.
Super solid.
He had a tough time of it at the World Championships. He looked to be in good shape. We saw him hip snatching 170 kilos in the training hall at the World Championships. But then, come the day of the competition, he missed all of his snatches at 165 kilos. So to make it look like that now, fantastic. Opening attempt now for David Hovhannisyan. Very recognizable face in weightlifting. He's been doing this for quite a while. First competed internationally back in 2014. The reigning European champion in this category.
Beautiful lift.
Really takes his time.
So smooth.
Standing ovation from several of those in the VIP section. He has, well, second biggest snatch in the field, but really the biggest because Redon Nushi hasn't been hitting those sorts of numbers in a while. He's made 171 kilos as his best. He did that at the European Championships last year on his way to solidifying his win.
This will be a very close battle here because all of these athletes are really lifting close to their best ever. Hovasanian's best snatch, 171. We have Fico at 164. And he looks to be in great shape. And then this man, Irakli Obejishvili, he's already above his best of 162. If he's successful with this, it's a 4 kilo increase.
Wow. It's a huge jump from his opener. I guess he knows he needs it if he wants to fight for a medal.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the clean and jerk of everyone else in the field.
Oh,
so close.
So fast.
Yep. Just like a lot of the Georgians, he does jump forward there.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that's not going to be there for him here. But he has one more attempt. I imagine he'll repeat that.
It is odd that the Georgians, so many of them jump forward. Lasha doesn't.
Yeah.
But
Arguably,
the others seem to.
I don't know if I've seen a lot of the Georgians train similarly to Lasha. Lasha does a lot of no foot, no hook work that we've seen, and maybe we're just not aware of.
Maybe
the
we're
other.
not focusing on them as much as we ought to.
It seems like he has a different, very different training program than the rest of them. I could be mistaken, but yeah, it is interesting.
You can see Fico there in the back. Looks like he's chalking up to take another attempt. He's asked for 170 kilos.
I mean, Fico could be potentially an upset here for the Armenians.
He's a phenomenal lifter.
He's a great technician. He makes lifts. He's just as strong as them on paper as well. He's just got to stay back a little better in the pull. Can bring that bar to him a little bit more through the middle. 7 seconds. Oh, the bit of correction he could have made. It was just a little bit too much, too little.
His day will come, I'm sure, when he moves up into a medal position, but today's not the day. He's only 23 years of age. He's not quite as experienced as some of these other athletes.
We have 3 athletes here asking for a 170 snatch. But before that, Hakan Kurnaz from Turkey receiving 0 applause on his way out to the platform. This 167 would put him in the lead temporarily.
It does feel like every session we have an Armenian, we do have a Turkish athlete. Just adds to the theatre of the whole thing.
Oh, very nice lift.
Yeah, he gets a little forward in the pull, but somehow he just pulls it back in and catches it so nicely.
Yeah, he's got great bottom position there. He's happy with that.
Yeah.
He's now currently in first with 167.
Cristiano Fico wants 168 kilos. You know, that's a smart move. He has such a strong clean and jerk. I saw him at the World Championships training hall clean and jerk, and then after standing still for a few seconds, he missed the bar behind, but that was 210 kilos. And then at the European Championships last year, he took 210 for the 3rd place. Missed it. I can't remember exactly what happened, Max, but I have a brief sort of slight memory. I think he maybe made it and got called for a press out at 210. I don't know if you remember that. But
yeah, he's a dangerous man in the clean and jerk. If he can put together a good snatch performance.
Yeah.
No, he's bumped back to 170.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was a move to steal the clock.
Well, Fico was, he seemed to have a few kilos to spare on that 165. Technically as well, a phenomenal snatcher. I've spoken quite a lot with him. He says he has a lot of strength to gain if he wants to catch up Nino. But technically, he is the superior of the two, just younger and weaker.
4 lifters now, all at 170. The first to take this year, Agagnan. Dead silence within the crowd.
Oh, he is so fast in pulling off the floor.
That's going to cost him. This crowd, this session is just too close.
Yeah.
Missed lifts like that could put him behind. He might have to take an increase to catch up. Yeah, it looked a little bit forward as well.
Just so much power off the floor there. Wow.
Oh, so close. Well, now the games begin because Fico will be the first to make this if successful.
Yeah.
That's a tough spot to be in for everyone else.
It's a big personal best for him, though.
Yeah, this is a large.
His 165 was already a kilo personal best. I think he told me, I spoke with him a lot at the World Championships. I think his training best is 173. That was prior to Bogota, so that could have increased.
Yeah, he looks so casual here. A very different demeanor.
Yeah. He's cool, calm, collected. And let's not forget, he is an 89. He only weighs 89.3. Arguably the best lifter in the field.
Well, let's see what he can do here. Successful with 165. He'll be the first to make 170. Put him in the lead.
Oh,
just swung it a little bit. Gets a pretty good applause from the audience. I think they're happy with that. He's not going to move into the lead above the first Armenian. But now we have Hovsanyan coming out for 170.
You see very intense stares from the Italian crowd. We noticed at one point in the training hall that when an athlete was snatching, there were 5 Italian coaches at all different angles staring at specific things. They just take so much care and focus over their athletes these days. And you can see the technical improvements in their lifting. They just open so heavy. David Hovhannisyan now at 170, a kilo under his best.
If he's successful, he'll be the first and only to have made 170 so far.
Takes his time in the setup.
Clock running down, 10 seconds. Beautiful.
Oh, wow. And he makes them wait for it, but it's well worth the wait because David Hovhannisyan moves into the lead by 3 kilos above the Turkish athlete. Both of them have an attempt remaining, as does Agagnan, as does Cristiano Fico. All 4 of them have third attempts within a kilo of each other. This is
well, now comes
tense.
the question. How many of them will take 170 to tie and fight it out in the clean and jerk? How many will take that 1 kilo to try and sneak in a medal in the snatch or a gold in the snatch? Getting audible boos for Kernaz here from the audience. Wow.
There we go.
In the face of all of that, he makes the lift.
I mean, it is an amazing lift. I mean, he's a junior, he's the youngest in the field, and he makes it a personal best. Bizarre, though, that he didn't opt to go for 171.
Yeah, a bit surprising.
He won't move ahead of the Armenian.
Well, he doesn't have a very strong clean and jerk relative, so...
That might have been his only shot at a medal. It could have been a gold, potentially.
Yeah, he's in silver right now with that. If anyone can do more, though, there's 2-3 lifters still with attempts. It looks like Fico is staying at the 170. He has a strong clean and jerk, so he's...
Yeah.
If he's successful with this, he'll be in 3rd in the snatch, currently in 4th. Just going for a medal here. Setting himself up to fight it out in the clean and jerk. Second one was very close. He made a great adjustment, but it just wasn't enough to save it. He is not happy with that.
Yeah, a little overcorrection from his opener. Very frustrated. Interesting fact about Fico. Well, 2, actually. 1 is that he holds the Italian 102 record.
Wow.
Because, well, he just gained a load of weight and went for it because he knew that Nino would take the 96s whenever he didn't bother cutting down to 89, so the only way he could get a record was to go up to 102.
Clever man.
Yeah, and then the other interesting fact is he won the Youth Olympic Games back in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, Ara Aganyan. 2 attempts remain, both for the Armenians. Aganyan looking for the lead now by a kilo over his teammate.
This puts him into gold medal position in the snatch, ahead of his teammate. Yep, a little bit early there.
Honestly,
wasn't able to make
the
it.
speed that he pulls off the floor is still, every time I see it, it's so amazing.
It looks so good in the beginning, but he doesn't end well. Unfortunately, he's going to stay with 3rd place at 165. He was the first to make it.
We have Kaki Kakashvili in the VIP section we just saw there, watching on. 172 kilos now. He's just dropped down a kilo. He had originally asked for 173. This will be a 1 kilo personal best. That's why he's going for it. And it extends his lead by 2 kilos over the Turkish lifter, which doesn't mean a lot because the Turkish lifter is way down in the clean and jerk, but it will help him out. It will provide him with a massive 7 kilo buffer over the dangerous Aganyan and Fico when it comes to clean and jerks. Oh my word.
Beautiful lift.
The speed, the depth is just remarkable. It felt to me as though he looked significantly slower during the pull. Right as he went past the knee to mid-thigh, it felt like it slowed down. But he just has a different level of depth to these other athletes.
What an extraordinary lift there. He has moved his first place snatch from 170 to 172. He's also sitting in a great spot here going to the clean and jerks.
Do you know that this place is sold out for Sunday?
Wow.
For the supers, yeah.
I mean, I would have to imagine that's going to be possibly the greatest battle for the Armenians.
Yeah. I mean, it's already, there's only a few hundred seats remaining, really. It's remarkably full. So that's the snatch portion of this session. 2 athletes from France bombed out. Romain Medouchen at 160, Redon Manouchi at 161. 2 athletes went 3 for 3. The leader was one of them, David Hovhannisyan, 172 kilos for the snatch gold medal. That puts him a kilo above his own personal best. In silver, we have Hakan Kurnaz from Turkey, who snatched 170 kilos. The bronze to the other Armenian, Araganian, runner-up with the same weight, Cristiano Fico. So the battle for the medals is realistically going to lie between Fico, Aganian and Hovhannisyan, though Hovhannisyan probably has far too big a lead at this point to lose. 7 kilos up on the trailing chasers. Hakan Kurnaz, of course, with a great snatch, but his opening clean and jerk is 185 kilos. The others are at 200 or more, which is just not quite going to be enough for him to be able to catch up those front runners.
Yeah, this will be a very good session here in the clean and jerk because just like we saw in the snatch, so many lifters so close together. Not that many kilos separating top 3 positions. Obviously, Hovhannisyan taking the lead there and building a little bit of a buffer with those 2 kilos, but I don't think we're going to see Kurnaz do much with just that 185 he has listed. Fico still dangerous.
Yeah.
He is a good clean and jerker.
It's going to be tough for Redon Manouchi to muster the motivation to really come out and go for it. In the clean and jerk, his party trick is the snatch, of course, and he missed those 3, so he's in a tough place now.
Yeah.
His best in training recently is 188 kilos, he said. So perhaps he'll look to try and beat one of those. 190 is his best ever in competition, as far as we know.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty big lift for him.
Yeah.
He's opening at 82. We'll see if he stays in clean and jerks. And then obviously, Medouchen has a chance to probably medal in the clean and jerk. Very strong clean and jerker. We'll see. You mentioned that this was sold out. This theater is sold out for Sunday with the Supers. I just checked. This theater holds 8,000, up to 8,000 people.
So that includes this area here, which we don't have open.
So as
which
much
they could open. I mean, they've just blocked it off by a big curtain. If they open that up, I'm sure they could fill it out. And then down on the ground probably holds a few hundred.
Yeah, 6,000 fixed seats, but it can be expanded to the 8,000. So without that section open, this is probably maybe 4,000.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
4,000 or 5,000, yeah. Which really is very impressive. I'd say at the European Championships last year, they could have held maybe 1,000 or 2, but probably never really get more than a couple hundred people there at any time. The World Championships, again, probably could have held a couple thousand. Maybe we had 1,000 at one point.
Yeah, could have
1,500,
2,000. Maybe 2,500 there.
This is very impressive.
Some of those sessions. The Colombians won.
There we have Fico now. He has, by my estimation, one of the nicest cleans in world weightlifting. Just such comfortable looking technique in both the clean. I mean, his jerk looks great. Occasionally he does miss, of course, presses out. It's just too much, but I wonder if that's more because his clean is so strong. He just ends up lifting more weight than he almost ought to.
Yeah, very possible.
There's a Ghanaian trying to stay focused, trying to stay warm after a bronze medal snatch of 165 kilos.
Yeah, you can see in the back there, Kernaz got 160 kilograms on the bar.
An interesting way to load 160. Blue, red, red, you don't see very often. Red, red, blue.
Yeah, the most convenient way. He probably had the blue on there first.
Yeah.
Didn't bother to change that.
These weightlifters don't like wasting energy.
Yeah, that's very true.
It is interesting. You see different types of personality come through with the way that they train. There are certain athletes and teams really, who build a culture of doing everything perfectly. They will always load the bar the same way. They will always strip back down to the bar before they build up. They'll take proper attempts. And then there are others who just can't be bothered with it, and they will drop down. They'll take whatever's still on the bar as their opening sort of warm-up lift.
Yeah, I would say there's a spectrum in weightlifting on either end, and that's do it perfectly on one end or do whatever it takes in the other.
Yeah.
And people fall in between there wherever they decide.
Yeah, the Romanians do it perfectly. The Chinese do it perfectly. This is within training, I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and we see...
You see the Armenians who will regularly... They will look around after snatching, say, 120 kilos. And if they can't see a green nearby, but there's a blue on their platform, they'll just shrug and put the blue on and jump to 160. They don't have these planned leaps that they take. I mean, I was editing a video today, which is now up on the Weightlifting House YouTube channel, of Carlos's world record right from the bar up to his world record. And he was taking different attempts than he would take in training. He jumped from 170 to 195, which is just a bizarre, that's a bizarre way to go. Yeah,
I would definitely put him in that camp of do whatever it takes. You said you watched him in the training hall do a workout, and Nino was there. Nino was doing snatch pulls, and Carlos, against his coach's wishes, did the exact same weight.
Yep.
He's
200 kilos for a triple.
Very competitive.
Just wanted to do it. And they both were watching each other. Carlos, after I spoke to him yesterday, said that he was very disappointed that Nino wasn't competing. But we did see, we were able to film in the back room the moment when Nino walked over to Carlos and they shook each other's hand, and, Nino said, well done. Nino lost his only world record. He had two. They both have now been handed over to Carlos. When Nino does return, he's going to have to be in some shape. In fact, I think every 89 in the world right now is looking over and thinking, gosh, it's a battle for silver.
Yeah.
Even the world champion from Venezuela, Kedemar Vainilla, he snatched 175 at Worlds. He clean jerked around 212, I believe it was. There's Radon Minucci not looking too happy. Did miss all of his snatches. Is he going to clean and jerk?
He's got his weighting shoes are not on. Looks like he's got some.
He's got 170 kilos loaded though, which he would not have snatched.
Yeah, a bit odd.
Yeah. Does he?
He's pulled out.
Oh, he has pulled out. Yeah.
That's
sometimes we come up with all these stories and ideas, and we just all we have to do is look to the right and look at the scoreboard, and it says that he's withdrawn. And here we are trying to work out. Well, did he do a clean and then change shoes, or no? He has withdrawn, unfortunately, from competition, and looks very, very disappointed with himself. It's his first international back, but well, I don't really know what to say after that.
Yeah, it's just
he'll be back.
Unfortunate, but it happens.
Yeah, interestingly, I had a chat with some of the athletes from Portugal who are competing for the first time in 25 years. And I don't know why they asked me this, because I've never been a successful weightlifter, but they said, what's your piece of advice for being at the European Championships? You're smirking, Max.
Well, to be fair, you've been to more of them than the last 25 years than they have. So
that's true. And I said, honestly, just because I think about it from my perspective of, I watch athletes prepare so much and then they turn up to these competitions and they leave after 3 days. And that's their whole experience done. I said, just try to enjoy it as much as possible.
Yeah.
In 20 years' time, you really aren't going to be looking back at this and thinking, I wish I made the 159 instead of the 157. but there's a very good chance you will look back and think, gosh, I wish I just enjoyed that more. I wish I let myself experience a European Championships properly. Of course, there are some athletes here for whom, you know, it's all about making the Olympics. Fair enough. They need their world records. They need their gold medals. But the vast majority of lifters here, you know, I really think just trying to enjoy it as much as possible is maybe worthwhile advice.
I think that's great advice, yeah.
I don't know.
I think it is. I mean, you look around and like you said, you see all these former athletes still here participating in the sport, either as refs or officials or coaches. Once a weightlifter, always a weightlifter. So Kurnas has actually lowered his opener. He was at 185. He's now at 180. He made 3 snatches.
Yep, silver medal in the snatch. Back out with the opening clean and jerk. What, 12 minutes later, I suppose?
Yeah, only 10 kilos more. Pretty strong clean.
Rocks
settles.
back there.
He had a strong jerk as well. Very comfortable opener.
Didn't look too hard.
Maybe he intends to take bigger jumps here. Didn't get much of an applause there, even though there's really no chance for him to surpass either of the Armenians.
Well, also there's right now at least 1,000 people absent from their seats getting drinks and food who will soon return. So they're not here yet. So whatever cheer there would normally be is muted. So he's going to bump up to 186 kilos, which will pull out Anatoly Horidko from Ukraine. He went 1 for 3 with 155 kilos. For those wondering, Cyril Thatchet has asked for 189 kilos for his opening attempt. His British record is 197 kilos. Gobejishvili is asking for 190. And then Fico at 200. Aganyan and Hovhannisyan at 205. Imadushen intends to continue lifting despite bombing out in the snatch. He's asking for 203.
Powerful clean for Horidko.
Very wide stance there.
Oh, and a power jerk, but unsuccessful.
The last 3 Ukrainians we've seen at this championships have all power jerked, and they've all struggled with it. I was speaking with Sergei Putsov, who used to be on the Ukrainian national team, about the performance of Irina Deka, who we just saw incredible in the snatch, has big problems in the jerk. He said that the Ukrainians have tried absolutely everything with her. They've tried to make her power it, so catch it significantly higher. They've tried to teach her to squat jerk. They've tried all these different drills. They cannot speed up her jerk, and so she ends up falling prey to the much stronger athletes from Pan America and Asia, despite often leading after the snatch.
Yeah, that can be very frustrating. One small chink in the armor. She's incredibly strong in the clean as well.
150 apparently she's made in training in the clean, but she just cannot jerk up towards those numbers. She
should be
missed 138 twice, didn't she here?
Yeah, she'd be unstoppable if she could make even just 5-7 kilos more in the clean and jerk. We know we should clean it. We know she would clean it. Horidko is still the lifter here. He's got 50 seconds. Looks like maybe some movements happening.
Yeah.
There's Asanidze. He's making an adjustment as well. So Kurnas here. Kurnas was the lifter, and now it's changing to Irakli Gobejishvili.
What a great name.
It's a bit hard to say. It's different.
Once you've trained it, Max, like I have, it just rolls off the tongue.
It does, yeah.
Irakli Gobejishvili. I say it in my sleep sometimes.
Yeah, it's a fun name for sure.
Opening attempt now, 187 kilos. His best is 195.
Strong clean.
Yeah.
Ooh, did not land right in that jerk.
No.
It really did not look good. He's very fast, very powerful, but he just was not in a good position at all. You can watch here. It almost looked like the bar bounced off of him. And couldn't hold it. So 187, still the weight on the bar, but the lifter is going to become Hakan Kurnaz. He took a 7 kilo jump, so him dropping from 185 down to 180, maybe he just wanted a bit easier lifts to get in the competition.
$7 jump now. $7 personal best as well. He told us that the most he's made in training is 193 kilos. He's had absolutely no injuries.
He's a junior as well. Strong clean. And again, very solid jerk.
Yeah, that's great.
He's gone 5 for 6 so far, performing very well. Getting very close to his bests in training here.
You know, he cracked a bit of a joke. Well, it's either a joke or he's just a very literal person. We asked him what he focuses on in training. He said, the wall in front of me.
We'll never know.
No.
What a great answer. Okay. So, Hurdko has missed his opener at 167, bumped the kilo to get the rest. Made a very strong clean. The power jerk was fast, but he couldn't stay locked out. He couldn't stay in position overhead, and it fell in front. Again, good clean. Took his time to readjust.
Oh,
Good.
that's better.
He made that one, but it not the most confidence-inspiring lift. He checks the board for the whites as well.
Now, who was the first Ukrainian to really kick off this power jerking train that they do?
I'm going to say it was probably...
was it Alexei or did it happen before?
No, Shmechko, I believe. He was a super who I think power jerked.
Very rare.
Yeah,
power jerking
he's
super.
Probably the only one ever. Igor Shmechko. We'll have to confirm
The only one
with
ever.
I can't think
at a
of
high level. I'm trying to.
other supers who have done power jerks.
There are some 105s.
Yeah, Alexei.
Yeah, Zanyan.
Yep. Yeah, Bazanian for sure. Victor Satz as well.
Yeah.
It's 100. Strong clean.
Yeah,
for
very
Ackley.
fast.
Yep.
That's better.
That's the jerk we know he can do. Wow, it's one red.
Still gets a red light.
A bit surprised by that.
I would say, and I don't know if this is at all correct, but my feeling is that we have had fewer 2-to-1 decisions than normal. It's noticeable, I feel, at this competition when an athlete gets one red, whereas, or two reds. I don't know if we've seen a single two.
Yeah.
No, we have. We've seen a few when it was an absolute miss. For some reason, one of the Armenians got a white line.
Yeah, we saw that, yes.
But it's much more black and white here. It's been 3 whites or 3 reds.
It's been an interesting competition overall because we haven't seen very many bomb outs. Obviously today there was 2, but relatively few bomb outs and yeah, pretty much decisive calls here.
Still Thatchett now, Great Britain. First attempt, 189 kilos. 8 kilos shy of his British record in this category. He also owns the clean and jerk record in the category above the 102s with 200 kilos. He's up with it. He has a very impressive re-rack where he slides his hands along.
Yep,
goes straight into it.
Solid jerk.
Yeah, a very strong opener there for Cyril. Rocked back a little bit on the clean, sort of tipped over with the torso, but was able to regain his balance.
His elbows come dangerously close to his knees there as far as getting an elbow touch.
Yeah.
But he stays in a good position, avoids that.
Yeah, comes up right from a dead stop.
Watch the hands readjust.
And then straight away he goes. Great split.
So 191 now for Kurnaz. This would be a big lift for him. I mean, the other ones were as well, but this is 11 kilos over his best.
Yeah. This would be for a 6-for-6 performance.
Another good clean. Wow.
There we go.
Strongest of the three jerks. That was
what a performance from Hakan Kurnaz. He's going to be absolutely thrilled for that. 6-for-6. Silver in the snatch. He won't get medals in the clean and jerk or total. But solid lifting for the junior. All new personal best from him.
Yeah, great day all around. He's the future of Turkish lifting here. He's a junior.
Yeah.
Phenomenal total as well, 361.
So not a lot of rest now for Cyril. He comes back out. It's a 5-kilo jump. It's 194 kilos.
Presumably,
which sets himself up.
Yeah. They're looking for that setup for the record. That first clean rocked him back to his heels a little bit.
Yeah, it really took a lot out of him.
Clock has stopped at 54 seconds, I think.
Yeah, they haven't actually told him to stop, but he's realized it, and he's been called off by Dave Sawyer, one of the three coaches from British Weightlifting in the back. He's been, he's coming off the platform.
Yeah, that's really frustrating.
Do we know, have we worked out what's happened?
Well, my guess is someone put a change in.
Did Haridko put in a change too late, maybe?
Yeah, there's no one else below 94.
No.
93, 193 here. I'm guessing Haridko put in that change, and it wasn't done early enough.
Irakli Gobejishvili with the 160 power clean and jerk in the back just to stay warm between attempts.
The old 160 power clean. Stay warm, we've all done that before.
So it is, it's Haridko.
Yeah.
Dropping back down to 193. His change presumably too late.
I'm guessing the marshals table might not have got the information across early enough. He's up at the clean. Oh,
wow!
Better than the first second.
Extreme position.
Yeah, they got better and better as he went.
Throws his head through.
Was his best clean and jerk
Yeah.
prior to today, only 171. That's
Yeah,
a
it was.
massive PR for him.
Yeah, that was back in 2019 at the European Juniors. It's been 3.5 years since we've seen him compete.
Yeah. He's grown up.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're back to Cyril with 194.
Which has given him a bit more rest, which he may well have needed. Hopefully the distraction of coming up onto the platform and having to come off hasn't hindered anything.
Looks like they're cleaning the bar. Maybe a little bit of blood there. Dave Sawyer giving a final pep talk. Words of encouragement for him. He's got to rack this clean, balanced in the middle of his foot so he doesn't fall backwards. Ooh, much better. He did land on the toes, though. Make that classic readjustment.
Wow.
Nice. Holding it, he's got to fight.
Can he stay? He pulls a bit of a face.
Wow.
But
one
he's
red,
hold
but
that.
Great fight on that jerk.
Yeah, I don't think that one red was necessarily valid. The lockout looks pretty good to me. And like you said, a little forward, but he rocked back, stood up with it nicely. Just holds the bar there on his chest. Elbows seem good so far, but he has to really fight. The bar wanted to move forward and then back behind.
Oh, wow. You can see how much he was fighting that just on his face. He did it.
So the greens come on now. As we move over 195 up to the opening attempt for Italy, Cristiano Fico of 197 kilos. This is really where the battle lies, is between Fico and Aganyan. Aganyan's put in a monster opener of 205, though. That would be the battle for the silver behind Hovhannissian, who we expect will take gold here.
That opener would equal Aganyan's best clean and jerk, though. We'll see if he moves that down.
Yeah, he may well do that. Oh, also, Romain Amadouchen has withdrawn the second of the two French lifters. Now watch just how nice this clean is.
Very smooth. He just pushed his head and shoulders behind the bar in that split.
He worked up to 190 for two singles in the training hall. Yeah, I'm often interested when we see the Georgian doctor say something to the Italian athlete. I'd love to know what language are they meeting in the middle with.
I'd have to believe English.
Yeah, well, Cristiano does have some pretty good English. The best of the Italian team.
Yeah. There he goes. Looks like he might be hurting here.
Yeah.
Yeah, his upper back. He rounded it afterward and was wincing.
Well, even when he was missing snatches, he referenced a problem in the upper back to his coaches. And now you can see him stretching out his back a little.
Hasn't caught his breath at all, but he's going to have to come back out for this.
Yeah, he's following himself now. He has just over a minute on the clock. He missed out on a medal at the European Championships last year. I wonder if, in fact, I'm almost certain that if he just makes a clean and jerk, he will walk away with a bronze in the total. But he's going to have to make it. He's exceeded this at his last 2 competitions in which he totaled. Of course, he bombed out at Worlds.
Another good clean.
That's it. Oh!
He just
What has he done?
did not recover all the way and drop the bar.
How did it happen? He was so well balanced.
I don't think he was intentionally putting it down. I think he just
No.
a lapse in focus and the bar fell. What a major disappointment there.
Definitely an error, but what did he step forward too quickly with his back foot? Just
looks like he just completely relaxed on accident. Here, watch this. Great split. Goes for the recovery, and then he just doesn't quite hold it. And he looks so frustrated because he knows he did it completely on accident.
That's the coaching staff from Team GB, who we bump into basically every day, once a day.
Yes.
And then we all stand around and we have a 10-minute catch-up. We share some stories from the competition or from other competitions, and then we all move on with our day.
A very friendly coaching staff.
So it looks like Fico's moving up.
Yep.
Coach Asanidze for Georgia is also making the change. Lots of shuffling around here. Fico up to 198, which would call out Cyril Thatcher, who almost certainly will come out for 198 because it's the British record which he's after. Although at this point,
it would be a very good clean and jerk in this session.
It
could
be a clean and jerk medal.
Could be a medal. Could be bronze.
Okay, here he comes. Gobejishvili. A third attempt. An 11-kilo jump from his opener.
Massive.
3-kilo personal best. He missed his opener sort of bizarrely on the jerk. His second attempt did look comfortable, but 11 kilos is maybe just a stretch too far.
Easy clean. Wow.
He's so fast, but he just can't.
So close. That does leave this open though for Cyril here, because that would have taken that 3rd place clean and jerk spot from him.
Yeah.
Because now we don't think Cyril would not have gone 199 for the medal. He's going to go for the record most likely.
Cyril is actually in the lead in the clean and jerk right now.
Yeah, very impressive here.
Wow.
Cyril Thatcher, an athlete you can get behind.
Yeah.
Just everything he's been through to get here. So impressive.
Incredible story.
198 for the British record in the clean and jerk, and it would secure him.
Well, it wouldn't secure him anything,
but it would put him in a great spot for a bronze in the clean and jerk.
Injured his lower back on Saturday, but it hasn't seemed to have stopped him.
Great clean.
Come on,
Best
Cyril.
position of the 3.
Can he hold on to it? Oh, he just loses it. 3 lifts in a row where the athlete has locked out and lost the bar during the recovery. 3 shots at British records. Sorry, 2 shots at British records. Well, 3 really, include the total. But unfortunately, Cyril will walk away with a 4 for 6 performance, 156 snatch, 194 clean and jerk. It's still a good total though, 350. And right now he does sit in 2nd place in the total, 1st place in the clean and jerk. If Fico misses this, he will get a medal in the clean and jerk. But if Fico makes this, he gets a medal in the total. If he doesn't, he bombs out for the 2nd time straight.
Good clean. He was on his toes, though.
That's the jerk that he was looking for. And he makes it look so easy when he does it. Finally, 3 white lights. He looks to be in some pain there as he hobbles off the platform, but finally, 4th last year, this year, a bronze medal at least at the European Championships. But now the roof is being raised because we have 6 attempts remaining for the 2 Armenians. The battle now really begins. This lift by Aganyan will move him into the lead by a kilo ahead of Fico. Both Armenians have dropped down quite smartly to 199 and 200. He's only 6 kilos shy of his international best.
Powerful plane.
Very strong. Wow. He slams the bar. The Armenians are putting on a show right now. That looked a little bit unnecessarily easy for an opening attempt. But his teammate now looks extremely focused. He doesn't want to waste what was an incredible snatch for him of 172 kilos for that lead. Aganyan would need to out-clean and jerk Hovhannisyan by 8 kilos to overtake him after Hovhannisyan's dominating snatch. Here's 200 kilos again, just 6 kilos shy of his international best.
This make puts him into a very strong lead in the total.
The reigning European champion opening up in the clean and jerk.
Great clean.
We'll step forward. And that is an incredible jerk as well. The noise in this stadium is hard to explain. Thousands of Armenian fans cheer, lights flash. The ground literally shakes right now from the music and the stamping of feet. Armenia will wrap up gold and silver here, but 4 attempts remain. Just how heavy are they going to push each other?
Well, it's teammate versus teammate at this point. 205.
Oh, Aganyan has withdrawn.
He maybe knows he can't beat his teammate.
He looked stronger in my opinion.
Yeah, surprising he pulled out.
I guess.
But he's gotten enough of it.
Yeah.
So now 205 is the weight on the bar. Hovhannisyan is going to be the lifter. 2
Forcing
attempts left.
Hovhannisyan to follow himself. He's done his teammate dirty.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah, a bit odd there. I'm surprised they didn't use his attempts to
at least burn the clock.
But I guess that's the name of the game here.
And here comes the champion. He was only just here.
Yeah, maybe less than a minute ago.
Yeah.
2 minutes at most.
Strong clean. He has great positions in his lower body in the jerk. Great split.
Yeah.
This is just a kilo shy of his personal best.
He gets very far over that bar in the pull.
This will equal his personal best in the total. Oh, just sneaks under. Oh, wow. Just tucks his left foot behind his right just to stabilize the weight. But he makes it, and now I think that might be it for him. He bows, salutes the audience, the crowd. He is, one more time, the European champion at the repeat for David Hovhannissian. By the way he walked off there, Max, I'd be surprised if he came back out for a third attempt.
Now, I think that was for the audience. Take that final lift.
Yeah, that was... Well, I thought that whole session was going to be far more close than it turned out to be. In the end, the Armenians were pretty dominant. Ara Aganyan only needed 2 attempts to make swift work of Cristiano Fico, but David Hovhannissian, the returning champ, 5 for 5, declines his 6th attempt, 172.205, 377 kilos in the total. For the gold medal, Ara Aganyan from Armenia, 364 kilos. For the silver medal, Cristiano Fico, 2 for 6, 363 kilos for the bronze medal. The runner-up from Turkey, the junior silver medal in snatch at 170 and a 191 kilo clean and jerk, the only athlete to go 6 for 6. Cyril Thatchett, of course, 156, 194, and the 2 French athletes bombing out in the snatch and declining all of their clean and jerk attempts. The medal ceremony will be up next, so stay tuned for that if you want to see the Armenians raise the roof. But from me and Max and everyone else at Weightlifting House, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow for the men's 102s and the women's 87s. It's the return of the world champion, Solfrid Kwanda of Norway. We'll see you then.